is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Today we got an unbelievable show with our special guest, Dan Dubinsky from Skyward Realty.
Good morning, guys. Happy New Year.
All right, Dan. Good to see you. And there's our
Nothing special about you, Dan.
Bad voice.
back by popular demand, Harry Glantz
Some cigarettes.
and Alex Nafusi. There they are.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Setting you up
See
with a
guys.
bigger introduction than that, but way to jump in. Gentlemen, it's January 9, 2016. Welcome. We're excited about bringing you another year of the Hardcore Mortgage Show. Again, we are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. And if you don't want to call us here in the studio, be sure to call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE.
How many years have we been on the air now?
This is our 16th season. Here we are back. So, again, by popular demand, I don't know about that, but we're definitely going to give you tons of information this year. It's going to be a gangbuster buying season, Dan. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped really in 4 or 5 years now.
No, it really hasn't. You know, it's typical when, as winter comes in, things slow down a little bit. But like we say, it's not really dependent so much on the month, but it's a lot due to the weather. Sometimes the weather has a lot to do with it when you see the buyers come out. It's this time of year, I tell people, right after the holidays, people are getting back into the swing of things. The ones that are calling right now, the phone call rings, those people are really looking to do something.
Well, home buying is back to where it was 10 years ago, pre-depression highs. We're back. Values around the nation are back. Detroit, we have pockets that are back and actually higher. So since 2012, Harvey and Alex and Dan, that was really the start. 12, 13, 14, 15, and we're projecting 2016 to be an awesome year.
I think the market itself is, it might soften a tad. I think some of the prices, Harry, you said some of the, the pockets, they're higher than, they've ever been before. And I think it might soften a little bit, but I think it's homeownership is really, it's the American dream, and I think it's going the right direction.
Well, Harvey's favorite group, the millennials, Harvey is...
We'll talk about those
Harvey's
folks.
Really the tail end of the baby boomer, maybe.
Right.
Working in the gap generation. But there's a survey
He looks like a big baby.
He looks like a gap. Anyways, the millennials, they did a survey of all millennials, and 91% of millennials said that they want to eventually own a home. So that's right up there.
Sure.
In the 91, 92, 93% of when the boomers, which was my generation, is my generation.
See, it's funny because we have those trolls sometimes that send us hate mail and text and all that about how homeownership is. All it is it's an anchor, and it ties you to a certain position, and you can't leave, and it's the big banks and it's the government. This.
No, it's not.
People have to remember that the whole point of a mortgage is to pay it off. And if you buy a house, I'm 37 now. If you buy your first house, let's just say if you're 30 and you do a 30-year mortgage, okay, it's paid off when you're 60. That means you're living for free. The point is to have it's something you own. It's not to tie you down. The whole point is not to refinance every 5 years and take cash out and go to
still
Cabo.
young.
Yeah.
You're still young. You're Harvey's age, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I'm 50 this year.
I know.
not young anymore.
And by the way, you don't and I tell people all the time, and people always call me and they say, "Hey, Alex, how much house can I afford?" I have no idea. How much house can you afford? Because what the computer says, the government computer, delegate underwriting, that says you're approved for, is completely different. I play a ton of golf. I like to go out to dinner all the time. I go to the movies.
I think truly you are an exception, and you've told me that many times that you are an exception. However, is you like to save money.
I do.
Okay, you like to save money, but you also like nice things, and you also do not do things that you cannot afford.
That is correct.
Remember, there's more to home ownership than just owning the home. There's the social part of it, having ties to the community, knowing your neighbor. I mean, Alex could obviously
schools.
Exactly, Alex could move somewhere else. He has the means to do it, but I know he's friends with all his neighbors and so forth. Same with me. I bet you the same with the.
And he likes it. He likes living there.
Exactly.
I do. I love Berkeley. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great community, and we have a ton of them around here.
People are definitely buying homes for their lifestyle. Look, home sales will continue to improve in 2016. I mean, they're projecting somewhere between 3 and 5%, maybe not that 6% we saw last year. But new construction is also going to shine. We're starting to see more and more projects even pop pop up here in Southeast Michigan. We've actually teamed up with quite a few new construction builders in this area. And if you're out there building homes, definitely give us a phone call. We want to promote your project and become your preferred lender. Again, most of the new construction subs in Michigan would love you to come to Capital Mortgage Funding. So give us a call. Get that approval letter. Your builder will be very happy that you're coming to Capital Mortgage, knowing they're definitely going to be closing on time. 248-539-9797. And you have one of those, right?
Well, no. Remember, I think the last show we did before the end of the year, you dropped that house, that the new construction one in Berkeley that Paskey built.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So sold after the show.
Did it really? Oh, it's gone.
Yep.
That's
Off the
gone.
market.
Nice.
I saw his father afterwards. I ran into him. So
But
he's like, hey, your friend said something on the radio show about the house my son built, and sold after the show.
Right. We actually wanted to reach out to some of the smaller builders, too, because it doesn't have to be a subdivision. If you have a project, if you did one of these knockdowns, you rebuilt the house, and you want to promote it, a lot of the families out there, again, we have some great technology out there where you can find all these sites. But if not, give us a phone call. We're out there in the community, and we'll definitely get you set up with all the builders and what their parameters are to close. Tons and tons of information to share with you. Harry, after the holidays, people need to consolidate the debt. And the numbers are staggering already. They said people spend some money this year. And look, if you put it on the credit card, you might have some equity in your house. We mentioned families that bought, obviously, since 2007 have a tremendous amount of equity. And now could be the time just to get yourself set up for the future. And if there's any way we can tell you to watch what you're doing spending-wise, I mean, that's the key. Obviously, budgeting for the future and different things.
Well, you have to get your financial ducks in a row right now because, first of all, this tax season, it's after January 1st. April 15th, which I believe the new tax date this year is April 17th because I think the 15th falls on a weekend. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me, please.
Nice, 2 extra days.
Somebody send in a ticket text say you hate listening to me because you hate my voice, please.
No, we won't do
Please
that.
I love you. I'm just glad you're here,
And
dude.
also,
I'm glad you're here.
Hey, trust me, I'm glad I'm here too.
Harry, it's sexy.
And also, you have to get, look, we always said rates aren't going down to zero. Despite the interest rates, the prime rate and everything climbing a quarter, rates have stayed steady. Maybe they've gone down in a week or so, but guess what? I'm here to tell you, 365 days from now, as we're sitting here, rates will be higher than they are today. You got to do something. You cannot wait.
I will definitely come back and take a look at that at the end of January. No doubt. I mean, the talk all for the few past years has been, when's the Fed funds going to make their move?
It's a Friday, Harry, April 15th.
Okay.
They made their move. The Fed funds rate went up a 0.25%. But other things across the country, I mean, strong jobs report, and that sort of kept the rates where they were. Global stock prices changed. I mean, what happened in China last week to start the new year off? Oil prices are at all-time lows. So the bond market is still a safe play for many. Best execution rates are still at 40-year lows. If you got great credit, you're going to take advantage of a tremendous amount of savings. Definitely give us a phone call. Again, we're broadcasting till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Call us live here in the studio, 248-539-9797. I got just tons and tons of information. Wanted to just throw out one thing quickly is, as I went to a water park and I started to take the kids to a water park. I won't throw the place out there. But
Kalahari.
I'm talking to thank you. I talk to Middle America. I'm always sparking up conversations. The line's there to get on these water slides. So you're always in conversations with
Harvey,
a lot of the
I
parents.
think your whole goal that when you take your daughters to Kalahari is to talk to single moms.
No, to talk to parents about mortgages in line.
That's what it is, okay.
But what I really found out in a lot of these conversations was it's really about the knowledge. And I continue to find when I talk to people in social settings more so that it's about the knowledge and they really want to know what to do with their mortgage. If they got a 30-year mortgage and they got a little bit higher rate, should they pay it off? Should they reduce their term and take that lower interest rate, consolidating debt? And we always walk away from these conversations, and it always is the same theme. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. You see when you give the answers to the families, they see a smile on their face. There's light at the end of the tunnel. More and more families do have equity now. These aren't the times we were having in 2006 and 7 and 8. Families have equity now, and if they do the right thing, they can set themselves up for the future.
That not only rings true for mortgages, but for home buying. And I was surprised the other day when I saw a report come out that Royal Oak schools were up there. They beat Bloomfield, beat a couple other ones. And in the past, the Royal Oaks been notorious for knowing their elementary and middle schools were very good, and their high schools weren't that good. So now we're finding different communities that are up and coming and rising, and people come in and say, well, I want to be in Birmingham because they're better schools. That's not so much true anymore. You're finding that things are changing, and you have to be up to date on what's going on. We have Con Ed just like you guys do, but there's some things that they don't teach in Con Ed and those kind of things. Little things like where a shopping center or a new Kroger is going to be in town. Do you want to buy in that neighborhood? Why is everyone selling? Knowledge is power.
Truly is. setting realistic goals, and we're going to get to that also.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, and we always talk about using people that actually do it full time. You know, like you don't want to use Uncle Ted who writes a loan a month or
That works as a Taco Bell.
Yeah, I mean exactly. I mean the realtor that's I got my real estate license because I'm bored. That's not like, listen, man, you're buying. I mean, if you're going to throw $250,000 at something, I mean, I'd like to know that the person that's selling me that product that does it for full time.
I'd truly like to see the test become harder. Not,
I agree 100%.
And have a little bit more restrictions on who can get it and so forth.
Well, ironically, independent mortgage guys like us, we have to be licensed, and we have to be individually licensed in every state. Every state we do business in.
Right.
All right. But if you work for a bank,
you don't
have to be licensed. So think about it.
It's crazy.
Okay, the banks that have the most money, right?
Yeah.
They're taking care of you. They're FDIC insured. They don't have to be licensed, but we do.
Well, it's not.
How does that make any sense? By the way, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
And there's a push to get everybody licensed. But for those of you out there who don't know, if you go to us, you're safer.
It's not that surprising
It's 100%
to me because
fact.
I know when I have a big name bank and a pre-approval, usually we know to make sure that
really, dude. Every single time you get approval from the huge conglomerate, you call me and say, "Is this legit?"
There's an issue, without a doubt. It really is, and people think just because that big name's on the building that they're legit and everything's going to run smooth.
I've told this story 1,000 times before, that when you deal with people that know what they're doing, and I remember a few years ago, I fell in love with that house on, I think it was on Mount Vernon in Royal Oak.
Yep.
And dude, you were going to make a ton of money on that deal. And you called me and you're like, dude, you are not buying this house.
That was the best thing you never bought. That was a really good move.
It was the best thing I didn't buy.
Right.
And this is like, you weren't, obviously you're my friend, but I mean, from a professional standpoint, you said, listen, dude, you are not buying this house. You're going to lose your ass. On
Yeah,
this
and
house. There's no way you can't buy it.
It was a nice home, but it was added on and added on. We had 3 different kind of heating systems. We had uneven, the concrete was crumbling, but people are visual and they don't see.
By the way, it was a nice house. Don't make it. I mean,
It was a beautiful house. I'm just saying that people come in and they're visual, they buy, but they don't see the things that an experienced realtor will see. And if I'm going to tell people, hey, sure, we could have made some quick money off them, but down the line, it wouldn't have made us look good, right?
Right, you never get a
We
referral
want
again.
clients for life. And if you're in this business for the long haul, that's what you're looking to do is help people out. They want them to call you back.
your partner, Josh Taylor, your business partner,
He's great.
sold a house in my neighborhood for like 2010 for like $70,000. We're at $250. Just doing the refinance on it.
All right, I'm glad we're diving into purchases. When we come back, funds, gifts, savings, your 401k. We'll tell you how to buy a house. 248-539-9797.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable lives. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
You've heard me talk about Mike Papur of National Benefit Plans providing you with affordable health insurance. Well, today, going to talk to you about life insurance. Mike shops over 70 different life insurance carriers nationwide. You won't deal with a phone jockey 6 states over or have to wonder what's available to you. Instead, you'll talk with Mike. He'll sit down with you, his team, his office, your home, whatever you need, and get the policy that's right for you. Mike Papura, 877-734-2200, or on the web at nbphealth.com. And remember, National Benefit Plans would like to be your health and life insurance agency for a lifetime.
Hey, you! Know what happens when your CPAP system gets dirty? Germs like me move in and wreak havoc. Remember that respiratory infection you had a while back? That was us. And that nagging sore throat? Us too. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for giving us a home and helping us help you get sick.
Don't let germs take up residence in your CPAP system. Evict them with SoClean, the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-693-2699. SoClean is completely hands-free. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. The secret is activated oxygen. It flows through your system, destroying bacteria, viruses, and germs in no time. Call SoClean.com to get your risk-free 30-day trial while supplies last. Hurry, call 1-800-693-2699. 1-800-693-2699.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 6 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for more information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Text the ticket anytime, 24/7 at 97136. The Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge Ticket Text. Don't overpay. Get into Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge today.
The hardest working sports fans in America are here on 97.1.
We are heated up in here, 917. This is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. You know, folks, we turn off the mic sometimes, and it's really interesting. That's when it really gets interesting in here.
You have to get back to radio show conversation.
It's down a little.
I wish you could hear it. Now Harvey's arguing about an appraisal that came in
too high.
we have 99% come in low, and we have arguments about that.
Here's the language you use. Does the appraisal come in to cover it? Yep. Period.
Done. Over and done.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you, the world of appraisals is still very interesting out there. We know that. 248-539-9797. Hey, take a little heat off of me.
That's not the word that you used off the air. Interesting wasn't the word.
Let's go to Wayne out there in Troy. Good morning, Wayne. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Morning. You know, I'm coming home from the home remodeling store and turn the radio on and hear you guys. And we're actually in a debate my wife and I are in a debate between getting ready to do a major home remodel. When I say major, is like the whole main floor, moving interior walls, redesigning the kitchen, moving the office, versus the option of, or the idea of doing a complete knockdown on the house. The house is 40 years old. It needs a new roof. It's got electrical problems. There might be some mildew issues, some cement work, and so we're just throwing the idea out: is a complete knockdown an option versus putting a couple $100,000 into a major remodel?
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions, Wayne, because you got a lot of action going on there. Is there a mortgage on the house now?
Yes.
Okay. If you knock the house down, it could potentially void your mortgage, where you'd have to pay it off, because there's a mortgage on that property based on the square footage and the bedrooms, the bathrooms, and all that. So if you knock it down to dirt, so it's just land, that could be an issue as well. How are you going to, if you do that, whether you remodel or tear it down, how are you going to pay for it?
A new, larger mortgage.
A construction loan you would have to get.
Yes.
Based on the plans.
Those are tough. Those are tough mortgages to get. I mean, there's not a lot of options out there. If you called me and said, "Hey, man, I want to tear my house down to the dirt and then build one from scratch," I mean, there's a lot of action going on there. Whatever you decide, I would encourage you to contact an appraiser first and have them do an appraisal based on what's called subject to, which is what you're going to do to the property. Because you don't want to, let's say you do a huge remodel and put in $200,000, you don't want to increase the value by $50,000. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to make sure whatever you do is going to be worth it in your city.
Troy's interesting. I'll tell you. I mean, the values are all over. In the same zip code, 48085, the variety of prices and the different home styles, it could be within $100,000. Definitely in Troy, and of course in many cities, you really got to be careful. And which Alex, and we're talking about value actually right now.
You don't want to be the most expensive home on the block, so that's really what's going to determine. Look at your neighbors, what they're selling for. Before you hire an appraiser, get a good realtor out there and see what the homes in the neighborhood are selling for.
It's always brainstorming because I'm thinking, Wayne. Also, you and your wife sit down and you say, "Hey, is there any way? What if we sold the house as is? It doesn't fit your needs anymore."
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, you disclose obviously whatever the deficiencies are in the house. Someone might be interested in the house. It works for someone else, and maybe just move on to a completely different home.
Yeah, Wayne, there's a lot of new construction in Troy. Any reason why you don't want to just build a new house from scratch?
Well, the main reason is that we want to stay in a very small geographic area so the kids can stay in the same school
Yeah,
system.
I understand that, man. That's obviously that's a very valid point. Let me do this. I'm going to call after the show. I'm going to put you in touch with a friend of mine who's an appraiser, and let's look at our options, see what we can do. Because I definitely understand. Troy's a great area. The schools are very good, and I definitely understand want to stay in a specific geographical area for sure.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Thanks
Good
for the call.
man. Thanks, man.
All right, 248-539-9797. We'd love to hear from you. Start some things off here. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding.
As previously stated, typically the deadline for filing your income tax return with the IRS is what? April 15th?
Yeah.
Unless that date falls on a Saturday or Sunday. Well, this year, April 15th falls on a what day, Alex? Friday. Yet, the filing deadline is Monday.
They're doing it Monday.
April 18th, 2016.
They've given us an extra 3 days, basically.
Well, and if you live in Maine and Massachusetts, it's the following day, April 19th.
Wow.
So there you go. But since we're Michigan, it's April 18th. So
talk about procrastinating, though. Let's
There
get
you
it
go.
done now. How about
Get
starting
it done now. I just thought I'd let you guys know that.
We were throwing it out there at the break, getting organized for the purchase. The funds are the most important thing. We always talk about it, assets. We haven't got off of it this year either. Getting your money together. Different ways you can come up with savings for a house. And all this information has to do with rents went up. We always talk about the home values, Dan Dubinsky, going up. But as you know, being in Royal Oak area, everyone wants to live down there. And the rentals went up 6% over the last year. So we continue to see that. And why not gather some money up and see if you can purchase a home?
Yeah, that's why you see all these new apartments buildings coming up. You look in Detroit, all those are coming up. That's getting someone else rich is what it's doing, right? Why not build the equity in your own home or your own condo and see that value in your own pocket? And it's truly, it makes no sense to be a renter. The only reason people rent, and I say that's okay, if they're coming in the area, they're not going to be staying long, or they don't know. They do a 6-month rental to learn the area a little bit, and then we help them out finding a house down the line.
The funds that are always the most important thing. Go ahead. What do you got?
We got an updated text. Appraisers have to go by the comps and government regulations plus the bank's regulations. You should take some classes so you have a better idea what appraisers have to do.
I'm so embarrassed.
I love that guy.
I forgot this. Yeah.
Why don't you call in? Or better yet, come to our office.
You know how many times I screamed and argued with Dan on the air that it goes by comparable sales in the area.
Exactly.
Not price per square foot.
This could be the guy that came in $3,000 late on a $140,000 house.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Appraisers have to have a bachelor's degree to become an appraiser.
Really?
Oh gosh.
Remember, consider the source. That's
Okay.
I love people, man. No, anyways.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, 734.
Do some of the ticket texters realize when they do ticket text that everyone else who's listening and never does ticket text is like cringing in their car going, oh my Lord, really? Did they really just say that? Everyone else who's normal.
Yeah.
Anyways. Talk about funds to close. You can withdraw money from your 401k, although we don't suggest it and want you to save money for your retirement.
I love you.
You got another one?
No,
Now what?
My whole 2016 I sent here because we were our meetings.
Be nice.
I am being nice.
Be nice.
I said the first rule in life is to be kind. The second rule in life
How's
is
that
to be
going?
kind. No, it is. I'm going to be kind. Appraisers have to go by the comps and government regulations. Okay, let me talk about government regulations. The CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is government regulatory agency.
Yeah.
It protects clients and consumers and all that.
It's great.
They
Allegedly.
Per CNN, which is where I pulled this article from.
What do they say on that?
When you go to your rate checker to get your best mortgage rate, there's only one problem. Okay, you don't have to quote any costs.
yeah,
Exactly.
When you go to their website, you can say, "Oh, what's your rate? It's 2%. Oh, cool. I'll go with that." They don't tell you your closing costs are $26,000.
Right.
Okay, don't tell them about the government, dude. So
It's unbelievable.
The first rule in life is to be kind.
That's your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
Thank you.
listen, I took my mom to lunch yesterday.
You're doing good. You're off to a good start. So I was talking before you shelled in with that is, 3.5% on an FHA loan, Dan, isn't a ton of money to save up. $100,000 house, obviously you're looking at $3,500. A lot of folks get that type of money back on their tax return, as we always mention. Sure. Also, 3% down on conventional loans, the USDA loans, rural development loans, allowing you to go zero down. And our veterans out there that have served the country and went out there, zero down VA purchases. A lot of the veterans don't realize also, you can use it, if you've already used it before, you can use it again. Now, the funding fee does go up to 3.3% from the 2.15%. But if you're a veteran, you use your eligibility before, you can come back, sell your house, and use it again.
Yeah, remember, sellers also can give you concessions. If you set it up right and you can present that offer properly, and as long as it appraises, it's a great way to not have to come to the table with your prepaids and closing costs.
We talk about sellers' concessions. Sure, it's not a guarantee on any transaction that the seller would be willing to do that, but now more so because there's a little bit less competition right now, Dan, and I think you'll agree with this, most real estate agents do, that there's less competition right now for the home, and maybe a seller that the house has been sitting there for a couple months, maybe they do need to sell it and move on.
When I started this, 15 years ago, 16, 17 years ago, it was more apt that we would be able to sit in front of the seller as a buying agent and with the listing agent and talk to the seller directly. And if we would tell them, hey, all right, that number of $100,000 you're looking at right there, let's not look at that number. The real number is 97 is what you're going to net. But we wouldn't be here today because our buyer doesn't have the funds for the closing costs. So you're going to help us out. Now, if it doesn't appraise, we'll have to figure that out, what to do. But in the meantime, there's really no downside for you. The difference in commission of those $3,000 we'll cut out, right? Transfer tax, we'll figure out a way to work with that. And so that way we're sitting here in front of you and we have a buyer that's ready to go. Everything's legit. But if we didn't have this and you weren't able to throw that our way, we wouldn't be here right now.
Right.
And, it's all how you set something up in life and really communicating with the seller or the listing agent.
248-539-9797. We just came up upon another break, but when we come back again, we have tons to share with you. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Are you a man facing divorce? A divorce that perhaps you didn't even want? This is Barry Sanders. I've been there. I know firsthand the stress and pain of divorce. A lot of people think that because I was a pro athlete and enjoyed a lot of success on and off the field, that somehow I am immune to such things. The fact is, I went through a divorce a few years ago, and like you, I worried about my children, my assets, and my family. When I got a divorce, I didn't know of Cordell & Cordell, but now I do. I took the time to meet and talk with Cordell & Cordell clients and attorneys, and I can tell you that Cordell & Cordell has represented thousands of men just like you and me. If you're a man facing a divorce, consider Cordell & Cordell, a partner men can count on.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Michigan attorneys. 313-465-1999. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy, Ann Arbor, and Dearborn. This is a paid endorsement. Endorser is not a client.
Imagine your life 5 years from now. Are you on the path you want to be on? It's time to take control of your future by getting a world-class education from one of the nation's top universities. Arizona State University is now offering over 100 top-tier degree programs 100% online. It's the exact same degree our on-campus students receive, but you can learn from anywhere in the country on your own schedule. For information, call 1-800-655-6088. Learn from ASU's world-renowned faculty and use ASU's global recognition to improve your visibility, professional network, and gain real-world experience you can start using today. The Wall Street Journal ranked ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. Now discover how ASU Online can stand out on your resume and help separate you from the competition. We're ready to help you learn to thrive in your life, in your career, and beyond. To learn more about ASU online degrees, call 1-800-655-6088. That's 1-800-655-6088.
Hey, Detroit, make a play for the D Las Vegas Casino Hotel. From the D to the D, this is has your favorites, American Coney Island and Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse. And Detroit sports fans have found a home at the world-famous Long Bar, only at the D Las Vegas.
With non-stop gaming, live music, and luxury rooms and suites, the D Las Vegas is your home away from home. It's time to book your stay today at thed.com.
The all-new 2016 Chevrolet Malibu offers efficiency, design, and safety. An automotive hat trick. It's the car you never expected. Tune in to Stoney and Bill mornings for a chance to win tickets to a Wings home game. Brought to you by Chevrolet, the official vehicle of the Detroit Red Wings.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
The Detroit Lions make a move. They agreed a deal in principle with Bob Quinn to be their general manager. The 39-year-old Quinn has been the Pats, New England Patriots director of pro scouting, and he's been with the organization since 2000, seen them through 4 Super Bowls. Lions been looking for a GM since firing Martin Mayhew midway through the season. The first task of Mr. Quinn will be to decide whether to retain or fire head coach Jim Caldwell. College football playoff executive director Bill Hancock does not anticipate any changes in next year's format when the semifinals will again be played on New Year's Eve, despite TV ratings dropping 36% from the year before when they were played on New Year's Day. Meanwhile, the Pistons are at home tonight against the Nets. Pistons at 20-16, Nets at 10-20. Wings on the road at Anaheim tomorrow night. In the NBA last night, Golden State winning again, 128-108. They pound Portland. They're 34-2. The San Antonio Spurs go to 32-6. For the 1-800-CALL SAM Studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
If you ever miss Stoney and Bill on 97.1 The Ticket, you can always hear their highlights at play.it, your new podcast network for best-in-class on-demand shows.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Hey, we always take your calls here live in the studio, 248-539-9797. If you're a first-time home buyer, there is no other place to go. Call Capital, 1-800-LOW-RATE. You're going to save a ton of money. How about getting that knowledge behind you on what it takes to purchase a house? I already know what the results are going to be. You're going to be happy. You're going to buy a great house and deal with true professionals all the way around. Definitely looking for your phone calls here in the studio. And we were talking about purchases all morning, gathering X amount of dollars to buy a house, lots of different ways to get in, sellers' concessions to purchase a home. Again, timing is very important too, Dan. We talk about that all the time. A lot of families out there are thinking about maybe moving up, selling that house now. Timing's very important about the transaction. We can help with that.
Well, I pretty much could guarantee the prices in the next 4 months due to come around April or so. We're going to see those going to be a lot higher than they are right now. You know, it just naturally happens. Start at the end of the school year, people start thinking about it. But if you put the feelers out now, just to educate yourself, right? What does each community, what does this cost compared to this community? And then you realize that if you have a realtor that is watching the market, and when the home pops up in that community you choose, you're one of the first ones on it, and you could get a better deal than you would if you're going to wait through springtime.
All right. We definitely want to go ahead.
You know, it goes back to, you know, being a full-time agent and know what's going on. I mean, you have to have your main, it's going to sound such a stupid cliche. You have to have, you know, your finger on the pulse of the market. I mean, at all times. I mean, you know, houses now, they go on the market and, you know, they'll be gone in a day. And if you're that aggressive buyer and you're looking to buy, you have to have somebody that's on point. You can't have someone just sending you an email with the listings of houses that come out.
Oh, exactly. And there's, you know, different nuances of houses. Is there one on a corner, or is there one next to an apartment building? Those things add or take away value, and you really have to have a realtor that knows what they're doing to help steer you in the right direction.
And, you know, it's like, and as much as, you know, as good friends you and I are, I mean, if I'm looking for a house, I mean, I'm going to be on you. I'm going to be like, dude, I want to know, I want to know before that email goes out which houses are on the market. You have to have people that are on point. As anything else, when I'm doing somebody's mortgage, I'm on point. I know what's going on. I mean, I'm there. I mean, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah, you know what we do, and we do this quite a bit, is for our clients, we'll go out and preview that house when it comes on the market. If you ask a lot of questions as a realtor, you're going to know what your buyer is looking for, and you'll know when you walk through the house and tell them to get through there right away. Not only do we do that, sometimes we, you don't have enough homes to look at in the MLS, so you start looking at the for sale by owners for them, right? Well, we've even done flyers. I think we've done that for you in the past.
Of course.
So we put flyers out and say, hey, we have a specific.
Well, I do it for you.
Once a specific neighborhood, and you know what? That generates leads, because people may be thinking of selling their home right now in 2 or 3 months. Why not grab them right now?
Well, of course, you always got to know who you're dealing with. 248-539-9797. Lots to share with you. We definitely want to hear from you. I mean, the Federal Reserve is definitely aware of the very fragile economy we have. Again, they tightened up a little bit. We saw the 0.25% increase in the Fed funds rate. Hasn't really affected mortgage rates yet. Maybe another.
It will.
Well,
It
Dow
will.
lost 1,000
Another-
points. No, Dow lost 1,000 points this week.
That's
but
not doing
other
so
than
good.
that-
So anyways, just always keep it here to the show here, and we'll always keep you in tune with what's going on. If you're a first-time buyer, definitely get in touch with us, get that approval letter. You know, we when people call us up and they say they were calling or dealing with someone else, a lot of times we say, hey, fantastic, we know they have a great reputation, run it by us, let's see what we can do for you. But so often we get phone calls and people say, oh, I'm just going to go to such and such. Look, I can't just blanketly say, make a bad comment or something and say credit unions have no clue of what they're doing on mortgages. But let's just say some of them may not. We spoke to plenty of people in the since the TRID changes on October 3rd, and we are definitely finding out that most of those institutions, a lot of these large lenders, didn't take the 4 to 6 months prior to the change to figure out how to close loans in a timely manner. If you're out there, if you're a real estate agent, you definitely want to point your clients to mortgage bankers that are qualified and can get your loan done and closed in a timely
We're
manner.
having absolutely no delays in our closings.
It was such a
Closing
smooth, It
faster.
was such a smooth transaction.
I almost
It
feel like
really
they're
was.
closing
It
even
was a
sooner
smooth
than-
transaction.
Well, like you said, Harvey, we studied, we prepared, take a texter, we took classes.
Oh wait, hold on. Can I bring him back up again?
And when I'm
All right,
done,
go ahead.
on the new government regulations.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were prepared 6 months ahead of time. So when the day came, remember they bumped it back from August to October, and we were ready, prepared, and never missed a beat. There are still, Harvey, and I will correct you, independent mortgage bankers that still don't know how to close loans.
Oh yeah, you're seeing it
in this post-TRID world that we're living in. So there are so many things. I think what it has done, Dan Dubinsky, it has made the real estate agents understand that, what is a rush closing and what are you allowed to do in a rush closing.
Right.
So I think it's helped educate everybody, the real estate community, and understand that if you're working with a mortgage banker that understands TRID, we're still going to close your loans on time.
Well, we had a gentleman in our office who came to me and said, hey, I'm trying to get this deal closed. We're using Capital Mortgage. It's not closing right away. I said, well, there's a reason what's going on. So sure enough, call Alex. They don't have a C of O. You can't close without a C of O, right?
Yeah.
By the way, dude, this deal.
You had to bring him up. Hey, let's go to Steve real quick. Hey, can you hold that, Alex?
Yeah.
We got Steve on the line from Detroit. Steve, thanks for calling in. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I'm looking to refi in, either June or July. I have about 10 grand in student debt. Is it smarter just to go ahead and pay that off completely before I start the refi process, or just leave it as an installment debt and pay it on time? But I'm accruing $250 a month in interest on it.
Not necessarily. Why? I mean, what's your goal? So you've got a mortgage of how much right now?
The mortgage is about $1,000 a month.
No, what's the mortgage amount, sir?
96, right around 100.
What interest rate? What are you paying?
4.75.
And are you paying PMI or no?
Yes.
Okay. And what's our goal of the refinance? What are we trying to do?
I would like to eliminate the PMI. I can come in with a little extra cash and get it to a conventional.
Okay.
But really, that's the goal: just eliminate the PMI.
I mean, there's no reason to wait till July to do that. Rates are going to be higher this summer.
Okay.
You have 20% equity?
Yeah. What's the house worth? You said you're coming to Detroit.
It's actually outside of Detroit. It appraised for 110 like 2 months ago.
So we're a little short of the 80% loan to value. But I mean, here's the thing, man. I mean, I can go to 95% with loan to value with no PMI. So I mean, even if let's just say we your rate stays, it'll go down. But let's just say for the sake of this conversation, your rate stays the same. I can still drop the PMI right now.
That might save you 70.
Equity in the house to drop the PMI.
I'm sorry. Say again, please.
You don't have to drop. You don't have to have 20% equity in the house to drop the PMI.
No, you don't.
Oh.
See, good call.
I learn something new every day.
There you go. Let me call you after the show. We'll take care of it, man.
Great, thank you.
Cool, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, let me just clarify that. He doesn't have 20% necessarily equity, but you don't need that to get rid of PMI. However, he would need 20% equity to pull equity out of his house to pay off those student loans. I would tell him, take a look at your whole financial picture. Go ahead and find out what's going on. Let's find out what the values are maybe in another 2 months, the home's values might actually go up a little bit. As we mentioned, spring 2016 might bring higher prices. You know, and here I dropped this when I started talking about credit union stuff, just because the front page of the Oakland Press, I'm shaking my head.
It really has nothing to do with what
I
we
know
do.
it doesn't, but I'm just going to say what the headlines were. Clarkston Brandon Community Credit Union official stole $20 million. How do you steal $20 million?
It's a small credit union. He did it over a period of years, and nobody was watching him. But you don't hear those stories from a big bank or a very large credit. I mean, it's an anomaly, Harvey, and you're going to get bad people in every industry, and I just don't focus on that.
And I'm glad you said that, because some of the people that were left our industry are now coming back into it because they heard that mortgages are doing good. Rates are down again, and you're starting to see some of these same old characters show up again. Be very careful. I mean, again, there's still knowledge is the key to it. Many of the families out there, you might have had some tough times before. Don't go right back to the same person. Find out what else is out there. Maybe get two opinions on it. They say information. It's funny. There was a breakdown of who gets information from what, and I actually wrote it down. The millennials, Alex, as we always speak about your age group, they seek financial.
I'm not a millennial.
Says to 34. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Are you 37 now?
Yeah.
Well, you're an old millennial.
I look good, man.
Those millennials, listen where they get financial advice from. I mean, they don't listen to the Hardcore Mortgage Show. Maybe they do. Seeking financial advice, 62% of them first ask their spouse. Then 41% of them go to their parents. 26% of them go to their friends.
What if you don't have a
and then
spouse?
15% of them go to their family members. Wait, last on the list where you seek financial advice is through financial advisors.
Yeah.
Now, this is it's a Gallup poll, so, I mean, there's some...
Dude, you're jumping all over the place. Let me go. So Dan had mentioned before that one of the guys in his office came to him and said, "We have this deal. It's the Capital Mortgage, and we need to close it." Let me tell you about this transaction. This is serious in my life, and like I take every deal personally. Guy, good buyer. He's a past client, good dude. He's buying one of those container houses. It's the where they weld like seven shipping
like on
containers
TV. Yeah,
together.
those are cool. Where's that at?
It's on Rochester Road in Royal Oak.
It's right around. It's right by Red Run at like 12 and a half.
Okay, Alex financed that deal.
Dude, it's a sweet. Dude, the house is awesome. Okay, Here's the thing: from an appraisal standpoint, it's based on comparable sales. It's the first container house in the state of Michigan.
Right.
Where am I going to find comparable sales for that?
You're not.
So we take care of the appraisal. It appraises out.
And it wasn't chump change. We're talking about.
No, it was a $430 purchase price. I think somewhere through there. So we get that taken care of. Okay. Then the guy, the buyer, can't get insurance on it. How are you going to find homeowners insurance on that?
Oh, okay.
Because how's an adjuster going to price that out to replace it?
How do you replace it?
There's never been one in the state of Michigan. How are you going to find it? So we find somebody to get homeowners insurance. I mean, there were so many hurdles to go over. By the way, I think the guy applied December 1st. So on a short month of December, we lose the Thursday and Friday for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's.
Right.
So it's going to close on like Tuesday. Big deal. And the guys,
I think you're my hero.
They're like melting down. I'm like, dude, I mean, I called in every favor I could to make this happen. And they're like, well, this is a delay. No, it's not a delay, dude. Like, just stop.
We'll talk about that a little bit too. We talk about the documentation. It's going to close.
Tuesday.
We did a CFO.
It was on the front page of the News or Free Press.
Yes.
But a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, not
cool.
closed yet.
248-539-9797. We have some open lines this morning. Yeah, it's a cool place. Let's go out to Brian there in Detroit. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good. I have a question. Well, of course, I have a question for you guys. That's why I called. But I'm in a conventional home-style mortgage. I took out money to get to do a lot of improvements around the house, and the after appraised value of the home was $184, and this was done in February of last year. So now what I'm wondering is I'd like to get a line of credit just to kind of have the money there to do more stuff. And I'm wondering, should I wait to get the line of credit? Because, of course, you guys know the line of credit is based on the value of the house, and I know the value of the house will probably rise the closer we get to the spring, summer season. But then we also have potentially rising interest rates. So I'm wondering, should I wait or should I go for it now?
I would do it now. I don't think that is going to go up that much between January and May.
No, you're going to be the beneficiary of, anyways, summer and fall comparables. But however, is you can't worry about an interest rate on a checkbook line of credit or line of credit because it's a variable rate. It's going to go up anyways.
It's going up regardless.
Yeah, it's going up regardless. You're not going to get a fixed rate line of credit.
Great. Okay, great. Thanks a lot, guys.
You understand what I'm saying, right? So you got to do it now. If you do it now, it'll work out better for you.
All right, great. Thanks a lot,
Thanks,
guys.
Brian. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Yep.
All right, we're up against a quick break here. When we come back, 248-539-9797. All your calls.
4 new hot lottery. Could somebody put out my pants? Thank you. See, from $1 hot cash to $10 hot riches, over $150 million in total prizes. You can win up to $1 million instantly. But here's the difference. The sun is 92 million miles from the earth. But these hot theme tickets are as close as your nearest lottery retailer. So try them and put some red hot play in your day. Anybody bring sunblock? Hey, Club Keno players, Doubler Days are back. And so is Professional Double Talker.
Dr. Professor Irving Corey, PhD, D as in Doubler Days.
I think they got it.
It's a way for players to multiply by a factor of 2, or double if you will, their fun and excitement, or fun-citement, if I may, and I just did.
Let me translate. Random Club Keno tickets are printed with a doubler message. If your ticket has the message and you win, you'll double your prize up to $4 million.
I couldn't have said it better myself, which I am.
All this month, winning is twice as nice with Club Keno Doubler Days from the Michigan Lottery.
So to speak, and I should, so I will.
Steel and iron, carbon fiber, and rubber. These are some of the things we're made of. Assemble them with innovation and heart, and you've got the modern automobile. Present them all inside Cobo Center once a year, and you get the 2016 North American International Auto Show. Coming January 16th through the 24th. It's the one event the whole world has been waiting for. Come see the excitement, the designs, the innovation, the very latest the automotive industry has to offer. And this year's show is made of over 500 new vehicles, featuring the latest innovations and interactive technologies, from clean green cars to cars that drive themselves. The 2016 North American International Auto Show, coming January 16th through the 24th. Brought to you by your Metro Detroit auto dealers. Tickets at NAIAS.com or Cobo Center. Sponsored by Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Denso, ZF, KPMG LLP, IBM, Yanfeng Automotive Interiors, and Pandora. Come see what we're...
Bloated belly? Gas? Acid reflux? You could have pounds of rotting, rancid, toxic gunk clogging up your gut right now. And with all the processed food we're exposed to today, it's no wonder why. Fortunately, there's New Biotics, our first ever gunk buster for cleansing that toxic gunk out of your body. And right now, we're giving away a free trial to anyone who calls the following toll-free number, 1-800-978-1233. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. With pounds of toxic gunk clogging up your gut, it's no wonder you don't feel good. Made with natural ingredients, New Biotics is our first ever gunk buster, scientifically designed to unclog your gut and cleanse that gunk from your body, flattening your belly and combating periodic bloating, excess gas, heartburn, and acid reflux. But hurry, call now for your free trial of New Biotics while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-978-1233. Call now for details. 1-800-978-1233. That's 1-800-978-1233.
Saturdays are not made for school. But today, you should make an exception. The Ticket Street team will be at Schoolcraft College in Livonia in the McDowell Center from 12 to 2. It's Fast Track Saturday. You can complete the steps to become a Schoolcraft student all at the same time. Plus, see the Street team and enter for your chance to win tickets to the 2016 North American International Auto Show and tickets to see the Red Wings on January 20th, courtesy of Chevrolet, the official vehicle of the Detroit Red Wings.
The baseball team that Detroiters love most. The Detroit Tigers live here.
Welcome back to the show. 248-539-9797. It is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hey, you can send us those emails to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. I don't know if they're even sending them anymore. Better yet, give us a phone call. We love talking with you. We can set up a meeting in the office. And I'll tell you, I've got a lot of families coming in this week. People are getting prepared to purchase a house in the next 6 to 8 weeks, really starting to go out there and look at homes, Dan. More and more approval. People are calling to get their approval letters, and that's the key. Get your ducks in a row. Get your documents in a row. We'll talk a little bit more about documentation. Let's go out to a few of these phone calls here. Go to Nathan, buddy. All right, we'll go to Nathan first out in Livonia. Hey, Nate, you're welcome to the Ticket. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, I just got in a car, and a couple callers ago, you had said something where you don't need 20% to eliminate that PMI on a house.
That's correct.
How would you go about finding where you're at?
Well,
to give
From a loan to
Sorry,
value,
go ahead.
you're fine, dude. From a loan to value standpoint, I mean, I would do some research. I'd probably call Dan Dubensky and have some realtors pull some comps and give a rough idea what the house is at. But we can go up to actually 97% loan to value and drop the PMI. What is it? It's called lender paid mortgage insurance. And what you do is you take about a quarter point higher in interest rate, but it offsets the PMI. I have a good client who's an attorney. He bought a house in Birmingham, and I think he put down 10%, and I think he took a quarter point higher in rate. But what that does, Nathan, is the interest on your mortgage is tax deductible. PMI is not.
Right.
So this guy's got $17,000 in interest he can deduct on his taxes. His payment's less. But I mean, people get so overly focused on interest rate. You need to look at what's best for you from a payment standpoint and from a tax standpoint.
I wanted you to say that again, Alex. People get so focused on the interest rate versus their overall financial picture. Right.
Yeah. Nathan,
and
go ahead, buddy.
Just to give you some background, we qualified for something through MISHDA,
right,
where we get 20% back on that interest that we pay every year.
No, you don't.
Now, if we refinance, we lose this credit.
Do you have the Michigan credit certificate? Are you referring to?
Yes.
How much is that loan? Is that how much is your loan?
Our original loan amount was for $115,000.
Yeah,
we are locked in at 4.75%.
And you're paying? Aren't you paying MI? It's actually an FHA loan you have. Am I correct?
Loan. Yes.
Yeah. So you're paying MIP. It's not even PMI. It's a little bit different. So the FHA, that MIP never goes away. My suggestion is if you have the equity in your home now, is to switch it into a better term and remove that mortgage insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of families took on the FHA loans, and it's a great way to get back into the marketplace. So many families didn't qualify for conventional. Now what we're seeing is we're taking our FHA buyers out there, and anyone listening to the show, if you have an FHA mortgage, now would be a fantastic time to find out if you can turn that into a conventional mortgage, and either, as Alex said, eliminate the PMI completely, or maybe just take a conventional loan with less PMI.
Yeah, and what you're actually doing is you're paying a higher payment now in order for somebody, the state of Michigan, to give it back to you at a later date. Why would you ever want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out for you in the beginning when you bought the home, but now, if you can lower your rate and lower your payment, that's better. It keeps more money with you now.
Right.
That's like handing me $1 every day, and at the end of the year, I give you 8 cents back. Why? It's better for me than it is for you.
You're giving the state of Michigan an interest-free loan is what you're doing.
So it would be in our best interest to refinance.
You need to refinance, lower the rate, and drop the PMI. Yes.
Yep, gotta take a look at it.
Okay. I'll cut for the show, and we'll run some numbers and get it taken care of, buddy.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Nate.
Awesome. Great call. Hey, let's move out to Barry in Farmington. Hey, Barry, I'd like your call. Always combining 2 mortgages saves people tons of money. What are you thinking?
Barry, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Basically, what I'm looking at is I have a home equity loan for about $70,000, and my first mortgage is about $95,000. What I'm running into is the HELOC, the home equity loan. It's coming due because it was taken out in 2006. So that payment's going to increase dramatically here in April. So what I'd like to do is try to combine both together into one mortgage and move forward like that.
What's the house worth?
Well, I refinanced the first mortgage back in like 2007, 2008, in the height of the recession, and it appraised at about 119.
Well, you did. What was it? A HARP loan? Was that to do a HARP loan in 07?
I'm not sure.
What's it worth today?
I refinanced it through when GMAC, I think, was still around. I was able to do it through them right before they went under.
So what's the house going to sell for in today's market?
In the area, it's all over the place in Farmington. Some houses, I got a Colonial, about 1,800 square feet. Some are going for 160, some for 140, some for 170.
Okay.
So they're all over the place.
Yeah, you definitely need a market analysis done on the house. It doesn't sound like you have quite enough equity because you owe about $160 on it, you said, between the 2 mortgages. So, and if you didn't get the 2 loans together, that's a cash out refinance, which means you have to be at an 80% loan to value to add those 2 loans together. Definitely a call. We're going to give you a call after the show. As much as you want to do those, we might just be able to save you money maybe on refinancing the first mortgage. So it's a good call, Barry, and we'll definitely follow up with you right after the show, and let's see what we can do to maybe save you some money monthly. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry.
All right, thanks.
All right, 248-539-9797 if you want to sneak in a call.
Harry, Talinger just texted me.
Oh, I love John. I haven't spoken to him in a while.
He said he hasn't heard the show in a while. He misses our voices. And tell Harvey I miss him calling me and going ballistic on me and my staff.
That's a shock.
He yelling about it. Talinger owns an appraisal company, and Harvey used to call.
JT, go green, baby. Go green.
Yeah.
John. Yeah.
And by the way,
thanks, John.
To the dude that just texted me and said, get this guy off the radio. His voice sucks. I'm unable to listen. Yeah, dude, the guy had throat cancer, and he beat it. So you're not allowed to listen anymore.
You're
I don't
allowed
want you to listen.
Right, you can't listen. You come over here, I'll punch you in the face.
How do you feel now just sending me that text? Okay? The guy beat cancer. Turn off. You're fired as a listener. You aren't fired. Find a new show to listen to.
There you go. We got rid of that guy. Dan, we always want to thank you for coming in. I know Skyward Realty is rocking and rolling downtown Royal Oak. There's so much going on. I met a guy even last night. Everyone talks about it. Hey, Harvey, I want to buy somewhere up and down Woodward. I mean,
Woodward Corridor, it's beautiful. There's, community, sense of community, the nightlife, everything. It's great.
Alex's city, of course, Berkeley is doing fantastic, and they've gotten a lot of phone calls across the whole area. I mean, Plymouth is fantastic. South Line, if I'm leaving out your city. Michigan has turned things around. Folks, people are coming back here. Alex, we used to do the show years ago. Oh, I'm moving to Chicago. I'm moving this and that. Those folks are coming back here. This is where the jobs are. Values have gone up. Pretty mild winter out there, and this is a great place to live. Again, our schools are still fantastic, and there's a lot of amenities. We might have time for one more call. Let's try, maybe?
We'll never get it in, but
Let's try Mel real quick in Detroit. Mel, if you got a quick question, go ahead, sir.
Mel, what's up, dude?
No, he's not getting on. Hey, let's try one more. Zach in Howell. Good morning, Zach. Thanks for calling in. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, thanks for taking the call, guys. Love the show.
Thanks, buddy. You got to be quick, man. We're almost out of time.
Yeah, we bought last year, February. We closed. House appraised at $240. Purchase price is $235. I think the balance is $218 on the mortgage right now. Really needs an updated main floor, kitchen. We have a great rate, 30-year conventional, 3.75% or something like that. Curious about options for redoing the kitchen, financing that right now, if that's a good idea.
I mean, you're at a great rate. It's on a 30-year fix, you said?
Yeah.
You're at a good rate, man. I mean, I would probably go to like some local credit union and take a second mortgage, like a HELOC or something, and just do that. I mean, leave that 30-year alone. You're probably never going to see 3 3/4 again.
Yeah.
And I think your best bet's to go to some place out there, and just like there's probably a local, like a Howell credit union or something. I mean, just a local place, and just do give them the business, keep it local, man. Go to Tomato Brothers. You
love dropping that restaurant. Where do you get a free meal there every time? You usually pick on me.
Hey, it's a good place.
It's a good place, man. But yeah, Zach, I would just take like a small second from a local credit union and go from there, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cool, thanks, buddy. Later. I got to give Tom Devils a plug for Tomato Brothers.
He's awesome. And his name.
Place is amazing, man.
All right, we got tons to share with you. If you're a loan officer out there and you're looking to find a great mortgage bank to work for, be sure to call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance, we are open all the time. So again, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. I want to thank Dan Dubinsky from Skyward Realty for dropping in. Of course, our regulars, Harry Glanz, Alex Nafusi. I'm Harvey Free from Capital Mortgage. We got Pat Caputo coming up next. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Avis Ford.
Sweetheart deal. Want a car but struggling?